sports fish, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Sabotage. Today, we talk NBA, state of the NBA. As most of y'all, or some of y'all, if you do know, the Lakers had a very another disappointing game, another blown lead, and another injury to old boy LeBron. It's an ankle injury, or I'm not sure if I haven't read any report that he's out yet or nothing, but it's not looking good for old boy LeBron with AD. I mean, AD's been out pretty much half the like half the year, even though I mean he got criticized by even old boy Magic Johnson last year, saying that he needs to get into shape and all this and all that. But I don't know if it's. I mean, the injury before this one. I mean, he had like three injuries. Every time the dude falls, he's getting injured. I don't know if it's his size and all, but I mean, he's not that much. I don't think he's taller, or he's probably in the same height as Joel Embiid and Giannis, and there's one with Jokic. So I mean, what is the problem? Is this guy just really not doing what he needs to be doing, or is he doing too much like in a weight room or something? Because I feel like sometimes weight room stuff can get you injured on the court and all. But I mean, I'm not a D, so I will know this stuff. But yeah, that dude needs to do some changing or something, because every season's pretty much almost been the same, other than that championship year. But even then, I'm pretty sure he was injured once or twice. As I was speaking, I seen him on the TV. They have the Hornets game playing, but yeah, AD needs. Well, okay, so it's the situation with the Lakers is they're probably not even going to make it to the playoffs because, well, technically, if there wasn't the play-ins, they probably would have almost a slim to none chance of making it because there's like 8 games left for them, and they have I think the toughest schedule left. And the Spurs are behind them, but they're only 1 game away. See if they actually do. I'm not 100% if they actually do face the Spurs, but we're gonna get away from the Lakers after this. I mean, it's enough time spent on these LA primetime losers. Sounds wrong, but I mean that's what they've been pretty much, or primetime blow a lead Lakers, because that's what they've been doing. It's crazy the amount of times. I don't even want to do speaking about it, but it's crazy the amount of times that I've watched the Lakers game and they have a lead, and I'm like, it gets to a certain point where you just like everything changes out of nowhere, like a shift happens, and you're like, what in the frick is about to happen? And out of nowhere, they lose the lead. Everybody's just like, all dazed and confused, and it just they lose, and it just doesn't look good. But yeah, that's enough on the Lakers. One team that's been looking great, it's the Boston Celtics. They've probably lost like 4 ever since, or during, I think it was like mid-season. They just pretty much have been on a roll, ladies and gentlemen, on a 6-game win streak. Pretty much, well, the Heat not playing so well. I doubt quite a bit with the Heat, and I'm pretty sure y'all saw that that scuffle with Eric Spoelstra and oh boy Jimmy B, the B man. But yeah, you probably seen that situation happen, and I think they've lost 2 even after that. So that's not good for the Miami Heat, because they would have had the. I mean, they can't win every single fucking freaking game. F word came out there, but still, they pretty much they had a pretty, not the biggest lead, because the East has kind of been close pretty much throughout the whole season. I'm pretty sure the Bulls were number one at one point. 76ers got to that number one or two at one point. The East is pretty good though. I mean, this and that's the other crazy thing. If I think Jared Allen's been out for a little bit. Colin Sexton was obviously lost. Rubio was lost earlier too. Am I missing somebody else? But they added Levert, so that was a good addition. Raptors just pretty good team with Scotty Barnes. They're a pretty big team. That's the thing with them. They got Shai Maj. Them and Cavaliers are actually a pretty big team compared to some other NBA teams. But Hornets at that 8 spot. They actually have a game going on right now with the Denver Nuggets, and they are leading 61-58 right now, as I'm seeing. So maybe that goes their way. But then again, it's the Nuggets. The Nuggets are, even though they are out a couple of good players, they're still pretty good with obviously one of the, if not going to be the future MVP, if it happens, it could be two-time MVP. It's crazy. We could actually have back-to-back MVPs, which is, I don't know if that's ever happened before, but that'd be cool, I guess. But they did. The Hornets actually beat the Nets yesterday, so they could have had that 1 point lead. There was a certain time that it looked like they were going to get it, but they just pretty much it got out of hand and game was over. But Kyrie just couldn't really. I mean, that lift or that ban or whatever was lifted, so Kyrie's going to be playing all the games. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go on a run. But then again, similar. I mean, see, their situation is much better than the Lakers. But then again, they also have that one player, as in Ben Simmons, who hasn't played a freaking game this year, and yet he has a back problem, which is weird because, I mean, I don't know I don't know what the heck he was doing. Was he carrying like 1,000 pounds while he was trying to make three-pointers, work on his game? Then you got the Hawks too, Trey, and then you got Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett. Like, one of these teams is gonna have to miss out. I mean, obviously there's the play-in situation, but still, one of these teams is gonna have to miss out. I mean, Raptors, it's 2 years ever since Kawhi left. They missed last year. Cavaliers obviously weren't that good last year, even though they had some pretty decent wins last year with Colin Sexton and Calvert's first year. I thought they'd be a good team. I honestly thought they would need at least one more year to be good. I mean, there's other teams that are, I don't know if they're similar to them, but if they have a couple things going for them next year, they could be contenders. Like the Magic. The Magic are actually a pretty decent team right now. In the beginning of the year, they really weren't, but right now they just got players up the wazoo. I actually talked about it in last video with Cole Anthony, all them boys. Hopefully it works out for them next year, but then again, another one of these other teams. I mean, is it all going to come down, in 2 years for the Brooklyn Nets, or what's going to happen on that thing, right? But playoffs are not that far. Some teams have 8 to 7 games left. So playoffs are coming, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait for that. But Mavericks at 4 is kind of wild to me. I would think they'd be further off. For me, I would think they'd be the team that's going to be playing for that playing spot. The team that's going to be defending or playing in playing that first game as a 10th or 9th seed. But no, they got rid of the unicorn, and now they got Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie actually hit 2 game winners, which is crazy. So he pretty much just by himself coming in, got himself 2 dubs. Not by himself, obviously, but had the 2 last shots and won 2 freaking games, which is Spencer Dinwiddie's a good player. He's a pretty good player for the for the Nets. I don't even remember Spencer Dinwiddie and Bradley Beal playing with each other like that anyway, so I don't know why they just let him go like that. It just didn't make sense to me. And you had Rui Hachimura, and you just kind of just let everything go in a way. I'm not sure about Porzingis' contract, but actually Porzingis is playing decent too. It's not like he was playing terrible ball, to be honest. It's just when he starts playing pretty good, he just pretty much gets injured. That's the problem with Porzingis, or the Unicorns, as some people call them. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Probably gonna do another one in a couple of days here. But yeah, sabotage out, ladies and gentlemen. Bow, bow, bow.